Texas, famous for its wide-open skies, vibrant cities, and legendary cowboy culture, holds secrets few ever hear about. Beyond the ranches and oil fields, something astonishing is unfolding beneath Texas's sprawling land and along its Gulf coastline. Strange, powerful, and even terrifying phenomena are beginning to surface, and they're reshaping what scientists thought they knew about the Lone Star State. In this video, we're diving into 10 mind-blowing discoveries hidden under Texas soil and sea, revelations that could change our understanding of geology, archaeology, and even life itself. So go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping Earth stories, and let's venture deep into Texas's hidden frontiers. Massive sinkholes are opening in West Texas. Could Texas's ground be collapsing faster than anyone thought? In 2024, geologists discovered alarming new sinkholes forming near Wink and Kermit, small towns already known for ground instability. But these new chasms are different. They're forming faster, wider, and without clear warning signs. Some span over 600 feet wide, deep enough to swallow entire buildings, while others appear as shallow depressions that quickly deepen into dangerous pits. Researchers believe decades of oil and groundwater extraction have weakened the Permian Basin's underground salt layers, setting off chain reactions that destabilize the overlying earth. Salt is highly soluble, and when dissolved by shifting underground water tables, it leaves behind empty chambers that can collapse catastrophically. Recent geological surveys using ground-penetrating radar have revealed an alarming network of subterranean voids spreading outward from known sinkhole zones. In fact, some fractures have reached less than 300 yards from critical highways, like State Road 302, raising concerns about major transportation disruptions. Local residents have reported hearing strange creaking sounds, sudden ground vibrations, and even the spontaneous appearance of new cracks across properties. Some towns have even started installing early warning motion sensors in key locations to detect subtle shifts in soil and rock layers. Engineers are scrambling to assess the risk, but the ground beneath Texas may already be shifting faster than we can repair it. Emergency contingency plans are now under review, including potential rerouting of traffic, rapid sinkhole filling techniques, and even evacuation protocols for vulnerable zones. Meanwhile, insurance companies are reevaluating property risks across affected counties, and state geologists warn that the worst could be yet to come, especially if more extreme weather patterns continue to accelerate groundwater movement underground. The once stable plains of West Texas could be entering a new era of geological instability, one that will force communities, industries, and policymakers to adapt quickly or face catastrophic consequences. Ancient underwater forest. Found off the Texas coast, hidden beneath the Gulf of Mexico, lies a ghostly, prehistoric forest frozen in time. Discovered during a storm-exposed dive near Gulf shores, this massive cypress forest is over 60,000 years old, preserved by thick layers of sediment that have acted like a protective vault for millennia. Towering tree stumps still stand upright, their bark textures astonishingly intact, now coated in colorful sponges, corals, and marine life that have turned these ancient sentinels into living underwater reefs. Scientists are stunned. Unlike typical underwater forests, which usually decay rapidly after submersion, this one seems almost untouched by time, offering an unprecedented glimpse into an Ice Age-era Texas, one where vast woodlands stretched far beyond today's coastline. The preserved wood is so well intact that researchers have been able to extract ancient DNA samples, potentially allowing them to reconstruct entire ecosystems that once flourished across the Gulf Coast. Samples from the site may hold critical clues about ancient climates, rainfall patterns, and sea level changes. Already, preliminary studies suggest that the coastline was once hundreds of miles further out, and the land teemed with species now long extinct. Paleoecologists are particularly excited about the pollen and seed samples trapped in the sediment layers, which may reveal lost plant species that adapted to extreme environments. But time is running out. Ocean currents are slowly eroding the protective sediment layers, threatening to scatter this invaluable time capsule forever. Climate change-driven storm intensities and rising sea levels are accelerating the degradation, pushing researchers to rush their studies and preservation efforts. Plans are underway to create 3D digital maps of the forest and to retrieve core samples for laboratory analysis before this prehistoric treasure is lost to the tides of modern change. Mysterious booms rattling Central Texas. Lately, Texans from San Antonio to Waco have reported eerie phenomena. Deep rumbling booms shaking the ground without any earthquakes. Residents describe the sounds as a low, rolling thunder, often accompanied by brief vibrations felt through the ground and buildings. Unlike normal earthquakes, which typically generate clear seismic wave signatures, these booms leave behind baffling, ambiguous data. Seismologists recording the events say the patterns don't match typical seismic activity. Instead, some suspect underground gas pocket collapses or deep fracking-related tremors, where fluid injections destabilize subsurface rock layers. Others hint at something even stranger, underground fault lines awakening that have long been dormant, hidden beneath thick sedimentary layers. Adding to the mystery, some booms have been accompanied by localized electromagnetic disturbances, brief disruptions in radio signals, and unexplained magnetic field shifts, raising questions about whether fluid movement or underground shifts are interacting with mineral-rich zones. While officials urge calm, monitoring stations are now being expanded across Central Texas. Newly installed seismographs, ground tilt meters, and magnetic sensors are providing real-time data in hopes of catching a clearer signature before or during the next boom. Geologists are also beginning to study the region's deeper structures more closely. Early modeling suggests that minor fault reactivations could be happening. Faults that, if sufficiently stressed, might lead to future seismic hazards in an area not typically known for major earthquakes. Because if hidden tectonic shifts are happening beneath the Lone Star State, they could change the risk maps dramatically, altering not just how we think about earthquake preparedness in Texas, but also impacting infrastructure design, insurance frameworks, and long-term urban planning strategies. Central Texas may soon find itself needing a whole new playbook for natural disaster resilience. A lost city buried beneath Texas Hill Country. Archaeologists conducting deep radar scans near the Edwards Plateau stumbled onto symmetrical stone formations buried under thick limestone layers. What they uncovered wasn't random scatterings of rock, but clear structural patterns, linear roadways, courtyard-like plazas, and fortified perimeter walls, all hinting at a sophisticated urban layout. The structures suggest organized city planning, communal gathering spaces, and possible defensive systems, possibly built by early indigenous civilizations or even mysterious cultures predating them. Initial carbon testing of organic remnants dates artifacts to nearly 4,000 years ago. much older than most known Texan settlements and predating the rise of major civilizations across the broader American South. Among the finds, pottery shards with unknown motifs, intricate flint tools, and surprisingly complex masonry using locally quarried stone. Could there have been an ancient metropolis here, swallowed by time? Some archaeologists now believe Texas Hill Country might have hosted a flourishing pre-Columbian society, one that traded with distant tribes, managed irrigation for crops, and even developed early forms of civic organization. Excavations are underway, but progress is slow due to the delicate nature of the site and the depth of the limestone covering. Advanced techniques like 3D subsurface modeling and photogrammetry are being used to map the hidden structures without risking further damage. If the findings continue, this could completely rewrite Texas's ancient human history, suggesting that complex settled life thrived here long before previously documented. Historians are cautiously optimistic, while some bold researchers hint that the culture uncovered may have had indirect ties to early Mesoamerican civilizations, possibly influencing regional myths and migration patterns still echoed in indigenous traditions today. Gigantic caverns discovered under Big Bend. An unmapped cave system, larger than Carlsbad Caverns, was recently found beneath Big Bend National Park. Using state-of-the-art, explorers revealed vast underground chambers that stretch for miles, some rooms large enough to house skyscrapers. Inside, crystal formations bigger than houses glitter along the cavern walls, some reaching upwards like frozen waterfalls made of pure mineral deposits. The atmosphere within these caves is thick with humidity, and the scent of minerals saturates the air. Deep subterranean rivers continue to carve new paths through the limestone, creating breathtaking underground canyons and natural bridges. These water systems may be connected to hidden aquifers that supply fresh water to surrounding regions. Aquifers that until now were completely unknown to science. The discovery hints at strange ecosystems thriving in total darkness. Initial biological surveys have already identified unique troglodytic species, creatures that have adapted to live without light. Early findings include blind shrimp, translucent insects, and colonies of bacteria feeding off mineral deposits, suggesting that the caves could host entire undiscovered food webs. Explorers are only just beginning to map these forbidden realms. But one thing's certain: Texas holds entire worlds underground we've barely begun to explore. Plans are underway for detailed geological and biological expeditions, but navigating the vastness and fragile structures of the caverns presents extreme challenges. Researchers believe the caves could hold secrets to understanding subterranean life, not just on Earth, but on other planets too. Places like Mars, where similar lava tube structures exist. The Big Bend Caverns may soon become a focal point for studies into planetary geology, climate history, and even astrobiology. This stunning find has opened a portal into Earth's hidden underworld, and scientists are racing against time to uncover its mysteries before human impact or natural shifts alter it forever. Mysterious energy spikes detected in the Texas Panhandle. During a 2025 renewable energy survey, researchers stumbled onto something baffling: intense electromagnetic bursts radiating from an isolated area near Amarillo. Unlike natural magnetic fields, these spikes appear rhythmic, almost structured, pulsing at regular intervals like a heartbeat through the earth. The anomalies were first detected by drone-mounted magnetometers, which registered readings several times higher than expected background levels. Some suspect that hidden metallic ores or underground water flows could be creating strange electromagnetic interactions, particularly if mineral concentrations like magnetite are interacting with shifting aquifers. Others theorize about ancient impact craters from meteors, where shock-induced mineralization could create natural magnetic hotspots. Adding to the mystery, local ranchers have reported odd phenomena: cattle behaving erratically near certain pastures, drone malfunctions mid-flight, and even compass needles spinning uncontrollably. Pilots flying over the area have noted unexplained turbulence and brief instrumentation glitches. Whatever the cause, the bursts are interfering with radio signals, GPS accuracy, and even remote energy monitoring equipment. Scientists are scrambling to unlock the mystery, deploying mobile sensor arrays, deep core drilling rigs, and even AI algorithms to sift through magnetic field data. Speculation has run wild, from theories about ancient buried technology to proposals that natural battery effects deep underground could be building static charges. Some researchers have even floated the idea that these bursts might precede deeper geologic shifts, potentially acting as early warning signals for larger subsurface changes. Until more data is collected, the Texas Panhandle remains an enigmatic hotspot, a place where the land itself seems to pulse with secrets buried far beneath the surface. Fossilized dinosaur tracks revealed after historic drought. Severe drought conditions at Dinosaur Valley State Park in 2025 exposed new, perfectly preserved dinosaur footprints, unseen for millions of years. The park, already famed for its Cretaceous-era tracks, has now revealed even deeper sedimentary layers previously hidden under river mud and water. Massive three-toed prints, likely belonging to Acrocanthosaurus and Sauroposeidon species, trace vivid paths across the cracked, sun-baked riverbeds. Some footprints are so large that an adult human can easily stand inside them, while others show detailed claw impressions, skin textures, and stride patterns that provide critical insights into dinosaur behavior. Tail drag marks, once considered rare, appear prominently in these new discoveries, suggesting that some of these ancient giants may have walked low to the ground during certain movements, challenging older assumptions about dinosaur locomotion. Paleontologists are ecstatic. Several newly exposed trackways show group migrations, indicating herding behavior among both carnivores and herbivores. These newly revealed tracks could belong to species not yet fully classified, offering a once-in-a-generation opportunity for paleontologists to expand the fossil record before rain or erosion can erase these ancient imprints. This discovery is not just a scientific milestone, but also a cultural one, reigniting public fascination with Texas's prehistoric heritage. The sheer size, diversity, and pristine condition of the tracks serve as a powerful reminder that Texas has always been a land of giants, and that many of its deepest secrets are still waiting to surface. Toxic algae blooms spreading in Texas bays. Along the Gulf Coast, from Corpus Christi to Galveston, a silent disaster is unfolding. Deadly algae blooms that are transforming vibrant coastal waters into toxic danger zones. Fueled by warming waters, nutrient runoff from agriculture, and shifting ocean currents, these red tides release potent neurotoxins that suffocate fish, kill dolphins, devastate shellfish populations, and even harm humans breathing near affected shores. Beaches once packed with tourists now face periodic closures, and eerie scenes of dead fish and marine mammals washing ashore have become alarmingly common. 2025 has seen record-breaking bloom intensity, with satellite imagery revealing vast crimson swaths stretching for miles offshore. Some blooms have persisted for weeks longer than expected, exacerbating ecological collapse in estuaries critical to young fish and shrimp development. These events are also impacting the region's vital seafood economy. Oyster farms, shrimpers, and recreational fishing industries are reporting millions in losses. Public health advisories warn against consuming locally caught shellfish during blooms, further dampening consumer confidence. Economists estimate the combined financial impact could surpass $1 billion this year alone. Some researchers warn these events could become annual and devastatingly normal if action isn't taken soon. Coastal scientists are urgently calling for better agricultural runoff management, enhanced real-time monitoring of water quality, and investment in algae mitigation technologies like clay dispersal and biofiltration. At stake is not just the survival of marine ecosystems, but also the cultural and economic lifeblood of Texas's coastal communities. Without swift and coordinated action, the Gulf Coast could be facing a permanent red tide era, one that reshapes both the environment and the way of life for generations to come. Bizarre bioluminescent phenomena seen in South Texas. In Laguna Madre, fishermen and scientists alike have reported surreal sights. Entire stretches of water glowing neon blue under moonlight. This isn't just pretty. It's rare bioluminescence triggered by massive concentrations of plankton and bacteria reacting to environmental shifts. The main contributors are dinoflagellates, tiny marine organisms that flash with light when disturbed, creating glowing trails behind swimming fish, splashing oars, or crashing waves. But what's even stranger is that the glow isn't behaving normally. In 2025, researchers observed pulsating patterns, waves of brightness that intensified and faded rhythmically, almost as if the bay were breathing with light. Some bioluminescent patches persisted for hours, even without obvious triggers, like wind or boat traffic. Scientists believe shifting ocean currents, unseen underwater vents, or chemical gradients could be fueling these displays. Rising sea temperatures and salinity changes from droughts are concentrating the organisms in unusual ways. Some experts even suspect that geothermal activity, or underground freshwater seeps, might be injecting nutrients into specific areas, triggering these surreal light shows. Could these dazzling sights hint at deeper changes in Gulf ecosystems? Researchers are rushing to find out. Underwater drones fitted with hyperspectral cameras and chemical sensors are now being deployed to capture data on water composition, temperature gradients, and microbial activity across Laguna Madre. Meanwhile, the phenomenon is drawing fascinated visitors to the area, giving a short-term boost to local ecotourism. Nighttime kayak tours and biobay excursions are booming. Yet marine biologists warn that while the glow is breathtaking, it may also signal underlying ecosystem stress, hinting at broader environmental shifts happening beneath the waves. What looks magical could be an urgent signal that the Gulf's hidden systems are changing, and not necessarily for the better. Signs of ancient mega-tsunamis found along the Texas Gulf Coast core samples pulled from the coastal plains show layers of debris, shells, sands, and stones transported miles inland thousands of years ago. Geologists believe these may be remnants of ancient mega-tsunamis triggered by distant asteroid impacts or seismic upheavals in the Gulf. If true, it suggests Texas's coast is not as sheltered as once thought, and that history may yet repeat itself in unpredictable ways. So, what do you think about these incredible Texas discoveries? From collapsing sinkholes and hidden lost cities to glowing seas and ancient tsunamis, the Lone Star State is far more mysterious and far more alive than we ever imagined. Tell us in the comments, which discovery blew your mind the most? Was it the underground caverns or the ancient footprints? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more deep dives into the unknown corners of our world. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.